I want to go over a little bit the halachas, which is the guy Tisha in the 9 days, which more or less people know the halachas. But constantly you gotta go over it because I see today's Rosh Chodesh, and all day you give shalas. So let's try to go over the halachas, the basic halachas, and we'll go from there. But Kiktaran Chazal, if you look at Chazal, is basically most of our halachas we don't have. And in Minhag-Avasani I have a Ma'amar article, which I go through, that basically Kiktaran Chazal is a snore, Busavaya, you should need Erev Tisha B'Av. There's no 9 days. This is all, Mamash, the Tuk, she is a Mafseikas, only the day of Tisha B'Av. It is only, as we the Bach zukt. The Bach zukt as bei Itzam, it happens because since the Gdoiler Chassidish Yidin, in that time, vor Yidin, the Yerai Shemaim, haben es Abel gewähnt, die Idee dort gewähnt, als Chassidim Rishonim, wie Rabbi Avrum and Rama, mit die oldest, and even before, gewähnt, Gruppes for Chassidim Ashkenaz, they were called. So they were moistives, they were misabel constantly of the Charbim. So they were moistiv gewähnt from Rosh Chodesh, the moistiv gewähnt Sachen. And then, is the Rishonim took the Sachen, is in the Skal gewähnt Klal Yisrael. Is the Lush of Abachi is, La'asher Rov Dina Tisha B'Av, Haminik Shenahagi Rov Yisrael. It's a minik which happened, which that guy, what Makabal Epsadach of Chorm, and that guy was Makabal. So the Rishonim took this old menhugam, they felt it's a good minik, and it got popular. So therefore, it's a hand halucha. Today you cannot change it. It's hand halucha, past Shechanurach. But Akapunam, I'm just bringing you out that it is not a thing which is basically in Chazal, in Gemara you will see all those things you won't see. Only, no mamash, gewisse Kleinigkeiten. But Akapunam, Lamas, is nicht the guy for us, because for us we have a Shechanurach, and the Shechanurach guides us, therefore all the things in the guy. Okay, now, in the Gemara says, V'shenechnas odim of mematen b'simcha. What does it mean, V'shenechnas of mematen b'simcha? Steigt nicht am mematen b'simcha, is mematen b'simcha. Lower down the simcha. So that means, as from Rosh Chodesh bis the Tanas, is memaat memasamat. There used to be that they didn't make business in the 9 days. Today's day, is Michael in name, because today's day, all the masamaten is chaya nefesh, you need it. It's pashmat avasubim. So therefore, in Michael, as macht masamaten in the 9 days. Aber after began, steht in the postum that masamaten, which has simcha, for instance, jewelry stores, or silver stores, or stores which sell furniture for chasanas, this kind of things, which is items shel simcha, these things you should be mamad. And therefore, a lot of stores, today's day, which sells, my shviger comes to me every the 9 days, because she works in a linen, which is basically linen is you don't buy linen in the 9 days. Therefore, a lot of stores that are closed are those. While these guys around in the Masamaten, which is shel simcha. Aber regular Masamaten, houseware, or all the regular stores are open. The post comes because that's the guy for Poshet the Chaya Nefesh. The Menhuga Vailas from the 9 days started yesterday by the Shkir. So Shinish the guy, we are a day after. But Akapunam, it could out to know that it is Haipzich from the Shkir. Although, if you remember, by the 3 weeks, Shavuos B'Tamaz I said, it's from Tzes. Over here, in the Namteig, Zugen the Poiskim Haipzich from the Shkir. And it goes all the way till a day after Tisha B'Av. That means Asuru B'Av, Ad Chatzois. The Svardim are machmer mehr till the end of Asuru B'Av. In the Michael from Chatzos, while the Iker Basamigdish, Akabun till Chazar Machma, but the Iker Basamigdish, the burning of Basamigdish was Yid B'Av, and therefore in Machma bis Chatzois. But when the graphic think there's a difference the 9 days between the week Shvi Shechal by Tisha B'Av in beforehand. This year, for instance, yeah. the 9 days started today, and there's a Shabbos in the middle. So therefore, this week has one halacha, and there are halachas which is more chumar, which is next week. The Svarda, for instance, do not have menuga the 9 days, only shvish chalboy. What we are machmer on the 9 days, they only have shish chalboy. For instance, a time when Tisha B'Av is on Sunday, they don't have b'chral menuga 9 days because it's shvish chalboy. But akapurim to do chilikim afila by us, there's a chilik we're going to see things which is this week and which is next week, which is shvish chalboy Tisha B'Av. Now, steht as fin Chodesh of is osir to machen chassidus shidduchim. That means if you made a shidduch and you want to make a meal, used to be once upon a time used to make meals. Even when in my time when I got engaged, the style used to make a meal for a l'chaim. This is given usir to machen. We make shidduchim. After Tisha B'Av steht. Shadach habunas make man even Tisha B'Av. Aber meals you cannot do, but if you can make a l'chaim and not wash, give minim tirgim, minim, cake, and these things, this can my Michael say. Man macht a chasana, yeah, and in Kansas, there's like a problem. The post comes zugen, minim tirgim, man get a bisschen mazoines mit l'chaim, also man get a einat Jurzat, get a ticken, is eine Sache, aber man macht auch kalavish, man macht mazoinesbräut, alles, a ganze Sieden, mazoinesbräut, es kimmt, das heißt, das Eier, und das ist Taka Usser zu machen in the 9 days. Okay, one of the things which is Sachen, which is Usser, is Kenias Levishem Begudem Chadushim. You cannot buy and put on new clothing. That's two different things. It's Kenia and putting it on. Now, when we talk now buying, means anything which is clothing you cannot buy. In the 3 weeks, when you remember when we spoke, is the Isser B'ikenor Zachen was a Shaykh HaShechiuni. A clothing, we're not in the problem from making a Shechiuni in the 3 weeks, so therefore, only if you buy a kapoto, if you buy something which you make a Shechiuni, even if we don't make a kapuram, our beggar is Mikradin, what we have machen a Shechiuni, this you don't buy, but you could buy a shirt, you could buy underwear, you could buy, aber la masa, when you're talking about the 9 days, is also to buy clothing, even underwear, even socks, even anything which is not dumme Chtushev, auch if again is Utzi zu kaufen Begudem. And it's good, Pashchitim, that is not fancy Begudem. If there is a Tzoyrich a person does not have, you should ask her of when and where, what was the Sibba, as I can Michael's on to buy, aber a Kapurim Meikar Adim Bepashtas is also to buying Begudem Dafka. Even if you don't want to put it on, if you want to buy, for instance, Begudem, you want to buy it for after Yontif, for after Tisha B'Av. So you want to buy it now, you cannot buy it, because the Eitzim Kniyas Begudem is a Simcha, and therefore it's also to buy. Even a Beged Shel Mitzvah. That means you cannot buy a talis, you cannot buy a new talis cotton, which is basically a Beged Shel Mitzvah, you cannot buy it. If you don't have a talis cotton, it became posel, and you don't have other things, then you could buy. If you have a talis which became posel, you don't have a Shabbos talis which you could use, or then you could buy. But even if it's a talis shel mitzvah, is es uset zu kaufen. When is it allowed to buy things? That is beoifen wie se is a dover uvat. That means if you're going on a place, or there's a store who has a big sale, going out of business sale. And if you're going to wait till after Tisha B'Av, you're not going to find it, Azazach Begman. Because that goes in the gate of Dover Uvat, and even Chalamoid, in such a case, you could buy it. So that's considered Dover Uvat, and you could buy it. Or, if you are on a place, which they have an item, it's not on for sale, but they have an item which in your place, but you don't have it, yeah? It happens to be, you went to Florida for a Simcha, and over there's an item which you cannot buy in Kingston. In such a case, you could buy it, even though it's in the 9 days, well, this heißt auch daran negate from Dover Uvat, and this is a problem. But again, you cannot wear it till after Yom Tov. The Kenia is the problem. So in such a case, you can have a heter of Kenia, but you don't have the heter of putting it on, because that goes into the second, which we can talk of putting on new clothing. The Isser is also of buying begodem for children. Children, Kleider is auch dasselbe problem. Le'imazeh, that's buying. dressing a child with no begodim is more lenient if a child doesn't have enough begodim, yeah? And a child needs, we're going to see it later down, so if you have a child who, you see, he doesn't have what to wear. Yeah, you call from country, from the camp, so therefore, in such a case, meger untin begodim. Meger untin ai begodim, if you have. But when it comes to buying, that's already schon eine zweite Sache. Da muss ich schon eine zweite Sache. In andere Wetter so. Und when you have, for instance, if you have something you have over here in Kingston, you have new clothing for your child, yeah, and you don't have to buy, and you call off in the camp, and you don't want to, is it call Amazon? And call Amazon that he should send something for the child. Du kommst schon auch tun auf Käufen Magudam in Unti Magudam. In such a case, it's endlich gedai that you should send him Magudam and not buy because the Knie allein is a problem. Unti is hat megen, weil hat nicht. Aber Käufen, kmiffen, das ist kein Preis, wegen Käufen auch. Aber man hat gesagt, in Öfen, wo es, du darfst nicht kaufen, it's another problem, and du darfst unzutien. In such a case, rather send him from here, rather than going to buy new, because the Knie allein is auch the problem. But again, a case which a person doesn't have begotten, means it's gemacht that something happened, in such a case, make him kaufen, weil darf man was unzutien. Same as a child becomes 3 years old, and the minig is that from 3 years old, you're putting him on a talaskuten, and you see, weißt du, in the 90s becomes, you don't make pies, kemiven, because you don't make halakha even for a 3-year-old child, but a kabul mit tzitzim shuna kappa mit tzitzis, then in such a case you could go buy wegen hostage zu kaufen. A chosen kala, which is a common shaila, it's a very common shaila. Chosen kala, if they could go shopping for weißt du unten Sachen when they get married right after Tisha B'av. Yeah, right after Tisha B'av, the chasam season starts booming. And you go shopping, but two Sachen, you realize, it has chonisht. In such a case, in the poskem, we make gain kaufen untichts. Mit bald sein afil 9, such a case, even in such a case, make man afil 9 for the chosen kala. Because chosish kan breire, they need it right after grach noch Tisha B'av. But in such a case, it's not a problem that they should buy.
But if you didn't try and close it for the 9 days?
The what?
If you didn't try to lock, you washed everything and done it before the 9 days, you didn't wash it.
We're going to get about the kibbutz. That's a different halacha. We didn't get yet to this halacha. We get to that. Now we're talking about buying new or dressing new beguda. Okay, now a person which doesn't have, again, sounds a little funny, but when a person comes in a place, he travels to Yisrael, and his luggage did not arrive. Okay, this is the thing which happens. Somebody had a fire, but that's not a good motion. Because when somebody travels, and we have travel insurance, and they tell you go and buy, so in the post says you could buy, but in order to solve the second problem from dressing nu begudem. So if there in such a case, is zung the achronim do aitze, or you should put it on the floor, but not on floor, which is merutzefes, which is tile, because that's not dirty. You have to go and make it a little bit dirty. You're going outside in the street, which you put it down on the floor, it gets dirty, or step on it, or once I hit for a vosna, I'm gefallen the aitze, which I think I feel because the shalom macht sich excited. We're going to see it also by washing. Put it in your bed and sleep with it. When you sleep, you're not putting it on because this is you cannot do it. But when you sleep, you put it in the bed, automatically it gets wrinkled. It loses the shine, and that's a thing that, because nobody wants to put it on the street, it gets dirty. But that's a practical thing how to do. In such a case, I'd say we're going to see the same thing will go also, like Yehuda asks, if somebody forgot to change his clothing, that is the item. That Chronim Zung, that you shouldn't do it, you don't rely on it only b'shas chag, but b'shas chag, this is the way how to go about it. You could buy Tisha B'Av Shich. If a person sees that Ramasi came to, he doesn't have something with Tisha B'Av Shich, doesn't have slippers, and so he could buy, like Kitchila Shtayt Klur, the Chroim, you should buy it before Tisha B'Av, before Rosh Chodesh, but if he didn't buy it before Tisha B'Av, he could buy it now, and he could banai it also Tisha B'Av. He could banai it Tisha B'Av. So nicht as a größer Simcha, which, yeah. A person which is oisig b'mechira, mischir from Begudam, he could sell it. A person has a dry goods store, a person has a store which sells dresses or whatever it should be. Mitzad mischir meger koifen. Now the shal is going to be who could buy it, but goyim could come in, or a person which is a chosen kala, all these things. Aber akapurim hat nicht kein Isse zu verkaufen, weil das ist für einen ein Indien von a mischir, meile meger es verkaufen. Buying kailam, tachshitam, and new furniture, that is an Indian of Inefich Duver Chushav, and this is a thing which you should not buy at all in these days. Even if you have a Chusen Kala, you don't buy a diamond ring till after the 9 days. Although, as the minig with the English that you give for every yontif, you give some kind of jewelry. You got to know the protocol, but it's not going to the minig as Tisha B'Av. Although it's a guy's on a moed. But it's not one of the many guys. Maybe it happened already, but at least still a few years. Not when the minute to send something, I could put them in Tunish Koifen. Guess check it's on the run if you want that you're able to read the Chorben Bais over there. But Akapunam, these things is noch mehr. Even such a thing, kaufen tun man dich pushen, sag noch nicht. The Chiddush is doing, even if you ordered it on Amazon, or you ordered it beforehand. For instance, a person orders a thing, and they have to make it, order furniture, or order a thing, and the company calls you that we have it, we want to mail it, we want to ship it. Steigt nach Reunem, as you shouldn't let it in. Also wie war? They should mail it, they should deliver it after, was sie dwurm geschieben. Dwurm pschieten, makes the, must you kaufen fahren, the Tisha B'Av, fahren the 9 days, it comes on Amazon in the 9 days, kann sein, dass es sich tun nitzen, wenn sich wuss. Aber akapunam, you could, at least they could deliver it. But if it's a thing which is dwurm geschieben, suchen nach Räum that you should make sure that ein nachnissen beweisoi, if you could do it. Sometimes you can't, Amazon sends it doesn't ask you. But akapunam, oi me can, that you shouldn't buy it, especially more expensive things which is on order. When they call you to want to deliver it, say deliver it right after Tisha B'Av and deliver it in the 9 days.
How do you define that? Like a summer chair, a summer frying pan, all these things?
No, the Lush Nachroinim is furniture or tachshitem, expensive things, kein chadusha. A cheap wash is no problem. No. Cheap. No. Nur Pshitem is auch kein problem. Buying it in the 9 days is a problem. But when you bought it before the 9 days, getting it in the 9 days is a problem. But Dvurim Chashivim, again, as furniture, as silverware, as jewelry, things which is a simcha when you get it, such a thing that you should postpone taking the delivery till after the 9 days. Again, if you have to take it, if not, they cancel the order or whatever. So Duvarovat is als Mitte. Because as I mentioned before, when it comes to Duvarovat, it's the Zelba Lucha Zoi Bichalamoid. That Duvarovat is Mitte. So for instance, if you are not going to take it in, you're going to lose it, then Kimivin Azafal Megmanas Koif. Okay, next I'm going to see Kibbas, washing clothing. Washing, that means goes washing, drying, ironing. Firish chodesh, you cannot wash begudam. Begudam means whatever you put on, or even linen. Linen also, the gaitran, what? From Rosh Chodesh. From Rosh Chodesh, you cannot wash begudam, linen, towels. All these things you cannot wash from Rosh Chodesh. I'm not talking about ketanim, and we'll get to ketanim, but regular things from an adult you cannot wash. The same will be also ironing, goes also in the same category, that you cannot do it in the 9 days. And that's even if you washed it, and even if you wore it. and you want to iron it, is an extra Isser for Giyatz, is an extra Isser in the 9 days. So therefore, even if you have a shirt, which basically you wore it already before the 9 days, but now it's wrinkled and you want to just make Giyatz, is auch Usser. But Giyatz itself, geht rein in the Geder for Kibbutz, and es ist Usser zu machen. The what? Is can you wash for Shabbos?
No, to iron. I have
Same thing. Same thing. If you cannot wash for Shabbos, you cannot iron for Shabbos. B'chalal included in begodim goes also a sheitel. A sheitel is a beged. So therefore, a sheitel you cannot wash. You could comb it, whatever you do, in the home, but you're not allowed to set it. You're not allowed to wash it because that goes in the gather of begodim. In the same will also go. As some poskim want to say, which makes a lot of sense, carpet, if you use it with water, if you wash it with water, these machines wash with water, I'm not talking about vacuum cleaner, as we can see soon. I'm talking about wash it with shampoo, since that's also considered regetra negative in begodim, and therefore, the stipnish. With a shoev, with a vacuum cleaner, can my mic is on like, the what? So the Shlagaya, aber linen is auch nicht, you wear it. Das geht ran an der Geder. Towels, no. Towels is also. Das ist aber frage gesucht, man gewollt, we'll get to it. Man bald sehen, wo ist der Head. Aber a kapunam, a beged, waschen a beged, is geht ran an der Geder. Linen tippen in Schuhen, aber es ist heißt geht ran an der Geder für beged. Ich habe gesehen, der Schmuel Kamenetsky in seinem Koibis Haluchas, lässt nicht wecken cleanen. He says that you cannot do the wecken cleaning, because that goes into the gather of washing a beged, but over here I don't understand. And my Lord gesehen, I was with others Michael, which makes sense. Kein mich verstanden. You could sweep the floor. So the same thing. You cannot sweep a carpet. You have a vacuum cleaner which takes it out, but you don't wash it. When you use shampoo, when you use steam, there are some steamers which you use. That's something else. But you use a vacuum. So hover on the lois of let's not overdo it, and let's allow the Yudushim Tzitkunis have carpet, and they should vacuum clean it. Cleaning your shoes, that's not a problem. You could, if you wish not to shine your shoes, is sagen der Chroinem, as this is Zichzich Lanaim, geht nicht ran, geht von Kibbutz. Ich habe gesehen, der Wosner will sagen, dass at least you shouldn't shine it. Ich weiß nicht, pinklich der Geder, was das meint, Huh?
Spit shine.
That's, okay. Stress the shoe polish, you don't even have to shine it. You just, so, okay, also, weil das kann man hier das. Even if the person has a heter to wash laundry, which we're going to see where, but a kapunam, ben matter gewein, nor how much you need for the 9 days. You cannot wash, since you're washing anyways, the machine won't be glowed, then I'm going to wash all my laundry. And I'm going to wash even laundry which I don't need for the 9 days, for after Yom Tov, for after Tisha B'Av. You cannot do that, only what you are you need for putting it on. What? Weil die wascht, weil der Isser ist waschen. In der wascht, abeg with the darfst nicht stuben. Wenn Mathematik in the 9 days to wash, misha eine begit or whatever, man bald sein wuss, verktanem, then we say that, okay, we need for the 9 days, kest waschen. But to wash it, the washing line is the problem. As I mentioned before, you cannot wash even if you don't want to use it. You want to use it after Tisha B'Av. You cannot do that. Because the washing line heißt Hesach Hadas. The Nekidus Advur, who's the head of the film, who's the problem for washing? Hesach Hadas from a violence. In the 9 days from a Chazal Gewalt, as you should have Hesach Hadas, you should have a violence, your head should be in a violence. So therefore, washing is the things which takes you away. I would have said that the Chazal would not ask to using a computer in the 9 days, because einer has das Budel miseh, but a kapuram, we cannot be moiz of Sachen, was Chazal am Schgitt. Okay, was wir nicht gegessen, das, aber der Haluch hat sich getoscht. Der Haluch hat sich getoscht, yeah. So therefore, but when you wash for children, you don't have to wash, when the host you don't have to wash every bag, In Chalamoide du Alucha, Mish Eine Elechul Geichet, you wash one, you can't just wash all the laundry. You wash one, the 9 days, we know that the children will need X amount of laundry, and they have a heter to wash. In such a case, you could wash everything, all of them, what you need. A person, adult, which doesn't have any clean begodem, zogen the Chroinim, in such a case, he doesn't have anything, he is permitted to wash. Now, you cannot, I had this halal today, that a lady asked, I have somebody in my family, which she thinks she won't have enough till after Tisha B'Av. So I answered her, then make sure to have what you need. That means, don't change every day. Change every other day, let's say. Yeah? In such a case, that you shouldn't have, you need to wash. So it's ausgekommen der Matze bepoil, als ich nicht muss sie waschen. Okay, demals habe ich gebreire. Aber ich tue nicht like Tchille gein, nitzen, change constantly in wash, wenn ich weiß, ich kann nicht schuhen. Ist der Chroim sucht noch mehr, als ein Mensch weiß, sie wohnt noch, soll like Tchille kaufen, fahren, dann am Tag, als nicht davon waschen. So, mich eine Chule Gechet ist nicht kein free, open for all. Es ist bei euch, wenn ein Mensch hat sich getroffen in such a case, that he is in a massive, at eine Chule Gechet, he's out of Begodam, everybody became dirty, a person is a chef, yeah? And she's constantly in cooking. And, so gießt sich aus, away to whatever, should be a matzav. Das heißt, mich eine Chule Gechet. But the person has a laundry, which he has, and he or buy beforehand. Das kannst du jetzt sagen, ich habe mich tauschen Water, also wie jeden Tag, weil ich komme nach Matzav eine Chule Gechet. Das ist nicht kein Heter. So you have to cook eine Beräusche, as you should have. Since I machen Tag with a poil that you wore something and it became dirty, in my mind, eine Chule Gechet, then it's a Heter. Aber nicht like abusing the system of in order to change. That's why the poskim say, even that we are Michael, that we should underwear, we should be able to wear, to change. Yeah, you don't have to, the hammer, the things, all the clothing, which you have to, before the 9 days, you have to put it on for half an hour, as I mentioned before, or if you don't have, if I got it, you couldn't do it, throw it, make it dirty. But the underwear, you don't say such thing. The poskim is in a Michael underwear or garbayim, which is beged shel zaya, it's made for zaya. So in the Achronim, in such a case, you don't have to put it on for the 9 days. So go by the Achronim, when we can, again, to put every person in the matzav how much she's sweating. But the person which he has the option, even then, if he changes every day, he should change every other day. Soft or soft, we have to remember one thing. The 9 days is a Sache, was Chazal haben eingestellt, aber man soll das Abel sein. So, Rachmon al-Islam, people who lost already a parent or a sibling in a sad shiva, they usually, when they sit shiva, most of the time, nobody comes asking the Rav Shailas, may I do this, may I do this? Because there's a massive kind of violence and people, man have to say it, I can put them when the parents, man sitzt doch shiva noch a parent, usually sich nicht alle Teile, man sich dann antake. Verwus? Weil, man versteht, es ist eine Masse von Weiles, und bis Takem ist Abel, aber Meile, wegen dem verstehst du, you cannot have everything, and you do it besimcha, so to speak. We have to understand, dus het Chazal haben gewollt, we should do in the 9 days. We should feel as a chorben. So, people constantly say, yeah, but it's uncomfortable. Exactly, that's exactly what Chazal wanted to do. It should be uncomfortable, and you should realize, basically, as a chorben, and episode der Tzigem. So, Bamaila is, even though taka person trace the people are used to changing every day, so change every other day. Every other day. If you this taka aistenas, then it's andere luchas. Then buy enough beforehand, but don't use it, abuse the system, and then you come to matzah, the eine mele chule gechet, and you should be able to wash. You cannot give for a dry cleaner, or for any cleaner, even for a goy, clothing to wash, even though that you need it only for after Yom Tov, for after Tisha B'Av. So, geben for a koives goy is auch tusen in the 9 days, even if you don't need it for the 9 days. But in the Sashal, which I had somebody at, that he forgot to pick up shirts from the dry cleaner, and Sunday is Erev, the 9 days, hat nicht the hammer there, if he's allowed to go Monday today, pick up. He doesn't need it for the 9 days. But he can't leave it over for 2 weeks. So he wants to pick it up. The answer is yes. If you gave it for the goy before the 9 days, then you can pick it up in the 9 days. Even if the goy washed it the 9 days. If you gave it before the 9 days, even if the goy washed it the 9 days, you could pick it up in the 9 days. So you can in if you maras eindu. And kemiv lekesses nicht untin, aber akapurim lekesses nicht fahr noch Tisha B'Av. Okay, so basically we spoke about washing. The iser is the washing. But again, as I mentioned before, the noise of a washing is the iser to put on a shirt or a jacket which is washed and you never put it on and it has still the glands as if it wasn't worn till now. Therefore, the minig is, before the 9 days, people dress the shirts, people dress, if they have a jacket they want to wear, anything which they want to wear except underwear, as I mentioned before, they put it on, they wear it for half an hour, and then we say that it was worn already before the 9 days, it's not a problem. Andere willen zeggen, you should wear it now, over an hour, once you wore it, is a zach as you could wear it. As I mentioned before, it's only begudam which is outside. Therefore, is begudam which is a Indian, which is chshiv is the gezachen. But begudam tachtoinem, which is big desire, is michem legif. This you could put on things which was washed. Again, not washing. We're not talking about washing, as we mentioned before. We're talking now about wearing this kind of clothing. Just to mention, if a person has shirts, and he didn't put it on before the 9 days, as I mentioned before, you cannot put it on. So you could put it on Shabbos. The upcoming Shabbos Chazon, you could put it on, and that's, since Shabbos you could wear, it's going to see soon that Shabbos you could wear Dvurim Chabusim, so therefore you put it on, and the Eitz of them is, the Ben Ish Chai in Sefer Achpurim holds that you cannot put on Shabbos Abegit just because you want to wear it on Sunday, Monday, whatever, because that's the Indian of Achona, Shabbos LeChol. You're putting it on in order to make it to the other halt, as nicht kein Problem, was auch schon gleich damit jetzt, but Akapurim, Ben Ish Chai and andere Chronim halt Yos HaPram of Achona. So I always say the Eitz of them is, you put on one Erev Shabbos, and the second one you put on Shabbos in the morning, because you undressed it, so you make sich Shinukah von der Zweite, and if you take it, bis der Sachse der Schiede, likes dich herup nach der Schuland, das dich ost in the hammer, and after you wake up, you put on a feather, at least you have 3 new what? Kannst gehen für das Fardi. Ja, also ich steht in der Hilchas Havailes, is do as am in Alucha, that you don't buy new clothing the whole year, as you know. So, zogen the Poiskim, that a person needs to buy something, and but for andere sagt, tun schon in high begudem, so you give it for someone else should wear it a little bit, should wear it for a day or two, and then kerschen the uvelos och. So answer your question, such a case you can give it for a Sfadi too. The what? No. The Ben Ish Chai redt Shabbos a Wochen, weil hat a Chun auf Shabbos a Wochen. Ich red, redt vergeben für a Sfadi Mittenbach, was hat bechal nicht kein Problem. So, es ist nicht gar Chuna. Talas Gudel, if it got dirty, and then must is off a foul, if you have another one which is washed and you didn't put it on, you could wear it on, now, in Shechanora steht auch that you should not wash also mageves, matzim, you shouldn't wash. That means towels and linen, all those things you don't wash and you don't put on things which it was washed. Stam b'mamar mizger, a very interesting shala was doing on the Chrodim Rednarim, which I have also every year in the same shala. Rosh Chodesh, you put on clothing, you wash laundry, and the machines are working overtime. And Erev Rosh Chodesh, you put on no linen. So when are you going to use the linen the first time? On Rosh Chodesh. So maybe you shouldn't change it. Rosh Chodesh, you should change it the day before. Is Lamas, you should change it before. But the Achroines Manayni, Zugna Sof, since you changed it in Rosh Chodesh, before Rosh Chodesh, if it happens such thing that you changed it, you could sleep. Yes, in the night, there's no problem to sleep on new linen. But Akapunim, ich will noch rausbringen, as Sof, my gave us Pashas HaShechanurach, towels, and linen is a thing which you could not, you have to wash also. But, there's a big what. There are things which get constantly dirty. As we're going to see by Big Dikitanim, in a minute that we're going to see, that Big Dikitanim, since they get constantly dirty, small children, so over there's not a problem to change them and even wash them. So, Achronim Zugen, as you towels, which was washed already, and it is washed, but it wasn't used, such a case, if it is a thing which gets dirty a lot, it means if it's a household which you have a lot of children, so you have to change a towel every day, or even twice a day, such a case, or even dish towels, which gets dirty, such a case, washing, using it once, you washed it, you didn't use it, you could be Michael. That means you don't have to go, at such a house, you don't have to go Erev Yom, Erev Tisha B'Av, like Erev Rosh Chodesh, like some people will go, and every time they come out from the men's room, they go to the linen closet, and they wipe with a separate towel, because it should be able to be used, such a case. As I fall, if Baldas is a zach, which gets constantly, a household which gets constantly used, then you could use a new towel, if it becomes muas. If it becomes stamas, or again, if it becomes muas, Keman Michael's done that you should change it. When it comes to Chuvah Shabbos, all the haluchas change. You could change, you could put on, as I mentioned before, all the begudam, which was washed, it wasn't used. You could use, put on for Shabbos. You could change tablecloths. You could change towels, even if it's not, even if it's not a household which gets really dirty. Come Shabbos, you should not. You have all the limitations falls away. The only thing which stays, Ravos wants to say, and a lot of other points can go according to this, and this is usually how mepaskend, that linen you shouldn't change. Linen is another thing that you should change. Andere will sagen, if a person has a minute that every Friday he changes linen, then in such a case he can also change the Kuvit Shabbos. But I don't know how many people change every Erev Shabbos linen, Kuvit Shabbos. So therefore, linen is not another thing which you could change Erev Shabbos. But other than that, you could change new tablecloths, and towels, and untiach. The only thing which you could change, you could do if you have, and that's even washing, if a person has, somebody writes in the WhatsApp, I have a family, came, and anybody has a place to stay. So you don't have clean linen. You cannot give for guests unclean linen. In such a case, makes the afilagain waschen. In such a case, for guests, makes the afilagain waschen in avada using fresh linen. Same is also a person goes for business or whatever, and he goes into a hotel, and it's fresh linen, if it is. We know already the mechkar, which, but even if it is fresh linen, then it's not a problem, because that's a thing which is, people cannot sleep on somebody else's linen, so they were Kemo Michael's on. When you talk about children, ketanim, is the lucha zoi. The lucha shtayt, begud, children which make themselves dirty constantly, make man waschen zayre begudem. Makes it toshen, you could change them, you could wash their begudem. What is the geder of meslachachim tuder?
Is that an olden age halacha?
What?
Nowadays we're a lot wealthier when it comes to these types of things. So would that halacha be different now? No, that everyone always says no problem.
If you have, If you have, then you could use what you have, but a person doesn't have. Children could get.
Should you do that?
For what?
Buying more clothes so you don't have them. So that way you're...
No, a person has X amount of clothing, X amount of space, X amount of this. We're talking about children who make, it changes the other thing. Today's we have diapers. We have Pampers. Yeah, so automatically, it's not so gefährlich, well, usually, when you have a pamper, you don't get dirty that much. So you have a legitimate question. But when we grew up, there were diapers. And once you had a diaper, is every time you change a diaper, you have to change a stretchy. And even today's day, small children make themselves constantly dirty. They burp, and they spit out. In such a case, of them, there's no limitations. Now, you say, do I need to buy, what's the limit? What's the limit? If a person has, but the person had normal, a person has only here, and now it comes to matzah, everything is dirty. In such a case, as you could wash. What is the gator? What is the gator? Is the achronim zugan as achilik. When you're talking about real small children, that means still not trained or whatever, that's till 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years old, there is nicht du kan limitations bechral. Saf kasof, they make themselves dairy. Children, till 6 years, from 2, that's it, till 6 years, zugan achronim, in such a case, is it's not free for all, it's not, such a kid macht sich so dirty. Aber for andere Sachen, he goes out on the street to play, usually he comes out dirty. So but children till 6 years old, is leist at Zurich kemen noch Michael Zahn, bis schwier shechal batishabav. That means this week, kannst Michael Zahn, even till children till 6 years old, because sof, Hansi tug, man geht raus auf die Gas, man spielt sie, man dreht sich immer, man fällt darauf. So therefore, leist at Zurich. Children which still 2 years old is it's bechal haluch is got strand geder. But from 2 till 6 years old, zugen the chroine was bis schwier shechal batishabav, you could be more lenient when it is a matzav a mukem atzoyrich.
Including sex or not including sex?
The what?
Including sex or not including sex?
Ich had gesagt including sex, because ich hab zweikes zieh, vielleicht nicht mehr auch nicht. Ich hab, you tell me. So kapunem, ich so gebe was der Chlorim geben dem out, aber wenn a mama hat mir sagen, 7-jährige Ingel, was heimkommen, it depends also on the children. The emphasis depends on the child. There are children, ich sage bei Mann eigentlich, ich habe einige, wo sie so finnig, when something gets dirty, he goes to change himself. A klein Ingel, 4 years old, a drop fell on his shirt, he makes a whole tantrum that he needs a new shirt. Andere noch Kinder was schmutzig, big deal, so again, man darf auch wissen, you have to take consideration. These things are not engraved in stone. Now, when you wash for children, you cannot add on adults. That's a thing. You cannot add on adult clothing. So nicht, since the machine works, so I don't do extra. Chzalam geasat for gedoylem. Ima mein chotschik dieselbe hesach das, it's nicht legaya. It is only for children, and even it washes with bevas achas. Putting on big the Shabbos is an extra lucha. Even it was worn beforehand, you don't put on in the 9 days big the Shabbos, except if you make a simcha. If you make a simcha, pidin ben, if you make a bris, if you make a bar mitzvah, and the minig is that the zaydas, the babas, the parents, where the minig is that the parents make big the Shabbos, in such a case, Megman, Michael's on a bal bris, steht alle bal bris, this is the moil, the sandig, the kvater, I will the kvater zooms in the gatter on the gator. It's very interesting, I don't know why, but the poiske, when the zooms aibig, the kvater, they speak about the lady. I don't know why they don't speak about the man, because the minig given at the kvateren, the lady used to dress Shabbos dik. The man, the kvater, did love dafke the dress. Kikt us wegen dem. I don't know the Matthias. But I put them, say I noch daran the from Ala Simcha, and they have a right to put on Shabbos begudim. Now, the place where there's no minig that the Zaydin should wear big Shabbos, but bris, the minig is yazoi. I can but by mitzvah, there's a lot of places which some places, but the other chassidim, some places, the Zaydes also wear, the Tate and Zaydes also wear the Big Shabbos, the Strammel, some do not. So, dort wie die Minig ist, the wear, haben sie mit Aluche, haben sie Rechzi und in the Big Shabbos.
So you're excluding a business meeting?
What? No, a business meeting you cannot.
That's
No.
what
Yeah. Yes. Agav, one thing I forgot to say, which also Shal, which I had in the 9 days this week, but I had it in 3 weeks, not the 9 days, but it had the same thing. Somebody had called me up that he's doing a shidduch. He's doing a shidduch for a child, for a child, and it's going to be a chayim, and he doesn't have a reckling, it's unzitting. Whatever, I think we should say those. Aber ich matte gewinne Sachen. In der Post kann man sagen, in such a case, a person goes out on a date, maybe it's going to Big Shabbos. Chotschig is in the 9 days. It was pashas the Laonor Basimcha. It's two Sachen, was presentable, hat recht. Ich denke, when I was in Israel, one of my chavayrim in Koil told me that he went in, sat in with his wife in the 9 days, and she got karekel. So hat gefragt, du von mir nach fragen ruf, the future schwer, als will fragen bunische Bespuche, fragen sagen that he's allowed to buy a new begit wegen Geist for the shidduch. So the future mechitten calls him back. I spoke with the college, said it's okay, you could come home, it's okay. Aber akapunam, as I start the poskim, when somebody goes out in 9 days and he needs to wear the begud and big Shabbos, or he needs to wear something which is washed, and he didn't wear all these things, you could do it. You could wear it. But akapunam, stamazo, you cannot wear big Shabbos. As we vat, as du achroinim was schraben, that Mata Shabbos you should take off the begudim right after Belav the Malka. Now we in Slavavish Chassidim know that the Rebbe Shmusai, the Rebbe Rashab used to take off right after Belav the Malka, used to take off the big Shabbos, as you know. The Friedige Rebbe did not. And why? Is the Rebbe Rashab said for the Friedige Rebbe, but in Chabad, they changed right after Belav the Malka. You shouldn't wear after Belav the Malka, you shouldn't wear big Shabbos. But you, Schnobel Einikel, the Friedige Rebbe's mother was a Chekasa Einikel. So in Chernobyl, in Mamakba to wear it, you don't change the big Shabbos all the way till you go to sleep. It's like a paida. So the Rebbe Shus Ein says for the Friedige Rebbe, der Besayin is Eini, that's right after the Malka we change. But you, as a Shnobel Einikel, you could stay with the big Shabbos till you go to sleep. So, aber Akapunem, du achronis will tanan, und du nicht gamme big Shabbos, since right after Belav Malka. Aber das ist schon nicht das Sache, was in das Kabel geworden. Efter bei der Ashkenesisch ist, ja, efter so die Minig, but we have to be in the city, aber Ashkenesisch, mit Bechal nicht gegangen big Shabbos gesungen. Aber Akapunem, du hast aber so viele Sachen so, aber Akapunem, das ist nicht das Sache, was in Zwiebeln sich, aber Akapunem, wo sieht man, dass es da, du verchummer, to wear big Shabbos in the 9 days. Sewing, what? In Zeman Ashkenazem, aber bis a limit. In Zeman Ashkenazem, also in Zeman nicht Svardim. But in Menhugam, haben wir das Sach Svardische Menhugam. So, in Ashkenazem, man bald sehen, in Ashkenazem hat man sich geschunkt in Big Shabbos. Shabbos Chazon. Shabbos Chazon, wir gegangen in Big Shabbos. What? No, we're not like Ashkenaz. So, du gewisse Sachen, bei Eitzim sind wir Ashkenaz Schieden. So, the mind, we cannot eat kidneys in Pesach, we cannot all these things, we're not Svardim. In Zaman Ashkenaz Schieden. But, Ashkenaz, the Chassidim, took a lot of, interesting, the Divin and Nehemiah writes, that Moirichum is the Kaini, because he was Einik of the Alter Rebbe by marriage. Moirichum is the Kaini, V'hagru, haben oiker gewähnt der Minig, wenn sich nicht tauschen Shabbos Chazon, in so einem Angeführt haben sich tauschen Shabbos, going big the Shabbos, Kililohoy. So it's interesting, as the Alter Rebbe was one of the pioneers of that, and bringt up Moirichum is the Kaini, V'hagru, and the Gru hat auch et Makkel gegeben, sie gehen mit big the Shabbos, as we're going to see. Aber Akapunam, zurück in unserer Kide, in Zemer Ashkenese. Aber nicht mit alles. Sewing in the 9 days, is klur aluche, as mit tun nicht nein. Du steigst schon in Gemurre ochet. Gemurre sucht schon, as the Frauen a way like in the non-take, a way like the Imre, dann Mishai Deruschen, in Matnish Genait. Now, what does this include? Sewing a new begit, or even sewing a old begit, aber ticken gudel. Ticken kal, zoek nach Räumen nicht kapram. It falls down a button, you could sew it on. Yeah. Or things which is a cuff, you have a cuff, fell down, you want to sew it, it's not a problem. But if it's ticken gudel, is even an old clothing you shouldn't do. For instance, you have a clothing and you went on a crash diet, and now it's too, it's too big on you. So you wanna, tailor it, it should be able to fit. Or basically you ate too much, milchige Sachen in the 9 days, cheese, breakfast and fish. And, Cover the 9 days, and you can't fit in, so you want to loosen it out. This guy should not negate if ticken gudel, and this to maroch nicht. But I can put him something tore, a smart kleine Sache, you want to fix it, or a button, or again, hemming a cuff which fell off. They mean a Sachen ticken gudel, aber so tun wir nicht, sewn is osser. If, as I mentioned before, Chos and Kala, which are going to marry right after the Sfira, right after the Tisha B'Av, a person which sews their begodam, make mamshich zan to sew in the 9 days. Gebald mit shum kabrayer after the 9 days, can man stina filling in the 9 days. Ochet, and even if Tisha B'Av, zug shen nachroinem, can man give for a goy to sew. Now, even for in the 9 days, to man finish for a goy ochet stil. Waschen laundry to man is durch a goy. Somebody asked me also today, could my cleaning lady put on the machine? Nein, I go to nicht waschen. Even a dry cleaner I go to nicht waschen. The same thing will also be giving for a tailor a go to nicht. Tisha B'Av, if you need, the 9 days a yid can do. But in Tisha B'Av shtayt should do if you should give it for a goy, for a chos and kala. Now, this is if you sew for yourself, or you sew for someone else, if you take money, if you don't take money, all these things are magasert. Not only that, even making a gobline, or making, weaving, this is a hobby things, Knitting, all these things is uset to machen. Tun wir nicht machen in the 9 days. Ich habe getroffen, eine von Achroinen, sie schreiben, that there are some girls which basically, they don't have what to do, and if you don't know what to do, Chazal sind die Hashim, and maybe the Betula, and maybe all the Lachen. In such a case, at the Michael going to make a gobline, only if you don't start it in the 9 days, you don't finish it in the 9 days. And only if you want to be lenient. But other Achronim sind a Zayштang, I feel about goblines. But you know what goblines do? How do you say a gobline today's day? Maybe nobody makes it today's day. You have a picture. What is it? You have a picture.
Embroidery.
And you make, a lot of pictures. It's not painting. It's through embroidery. Yeah, these kind of things. Even such a thing. But such a thing as you do. Aber Michael given in camps. I more for activities, but much can buy. That's kinder which you don't have. Have what to do. So you gotta see. You're a lot of foul. If you don't start, if you don't end, I'm Michael given. If a person learns to sew, if it is nor of a poshet bad, not poshet, if you have a poshet bad, not which you are sewing it in order to become a dress. If you're sewing it only to learn, and it's a cheap bad which is not used for a dress, Kema Michael Zan, sie lernen how to teach sewing.
It's not sewing, but we have like in camp these further beads. The rubber, and you make a design and you melt them. So make like a fancy
iron them.
But your own, it's not a tefira.
No,
it's the Easter is tefira. It's not tefira. It's perfectly fine to make arts and crafts with children in the 9 days. You have you have sticks. What is it called? Pop sticks. You build with that, or all these things make me machen. Tefira itself is a zach was chazal megasa. So if you don't have the infant tefira, it's not a problem. A person which is a tailor, that's his panosa. Zung da chroinem, v'baldus is panosa. Then it's not a problem that he should work in the 9 days too, even if he does it for Eid. kapunem, tits for some panusa, megerestin. Now was then, tits for Yid, nor only if you got it before Rosh Chodesh. If the Yid brings it in the 9 days, then he shouldn't make it for the Yid. If the Yid brings it before the 9 days, he could do it in the 9 days. Weil das ist der Heilig von seinem Panusa, bis Shvishi Chal Batishbav. Shvishi Chal Batishbav steht in Prima Gudam, also man macht man sagen. Vieles macht das für Panusa, so man macht man Shvishi Chal Batishbav. Prima Gudam hat auch dort learning music or playing music for a goyish mesech, a person who's a musician, playing for a goyish simcha, is a Prima Gudam Michael. In those who are Shvishi Chal Batishbav, you should be a momach. Mashiach bohim, me mach. I feel sif panusa. Ich kann simcha beimmen. It's not a mach panusa. Aber ich schall bodem. You should be momach. Momach. Taking care of your house. Oh, this is a Sache. This is this is from the shalos. This Tisha B'Av you have every 15 minutes another question like this. What are you permitted to do doing in your house? Now in Shechnor Shtayt, as when it comes to 9 days, is also to make binyan shel simcha. It's also to make binyan shel simcha. What is the gate of binyan shel simcha? Is b'pashtus, what used to be usually binyan shel simcha meant that you used to build a hall to make the chasana. Yeah, people make chasana at home, but they didn't. Home is too small. They used to make in the backyard. They used to build. You been in decorate it like today's day. The Rebbe's chasanas. Yeah, they have a big tent and they decorate it and we can born a sachmul from a shaffer. This has been simcha. Chronim zogen as the Zabzach is everything which has to do with harvucha gatran de geda. That means if a person has a house which is very comfortable and he wants to add on an extension. He wants to buy, add on a sunroom, he wants to add on, whatever it is, because the issue is that because this is a problem, is to build in the 9 days. If it's not that, if a person has a problem in his house, it's a leak, and he wants to fix it, and he wants to patch it up. If it is born extension, it's 8 kids in a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment, Zimmer, it's nicht Schlarwuche, das ist a Sache, das ist der Zeurich hat das, ist mir Ikeradin, ist nicht du, Isser. For instance, I had a shali yesterday, and a man tells me like this, I live in a house, I have a right, in more than 18 months, I can still live in my old apartment, I'm building a new house. So, mag ich bauen oder nicht? In the 9 days. The answer is, no, this has been in Larvuch. There's no reason why you should build it. It's Indian, hast a reason now to build. Hast a house, hast a rugos, there's no problem. Build not a building a house Larvuch. Such a case is dua iset zibor andes. So that was yesterday night. Today in the morning tells me, yeah, alles fine avoid, but the builder tells me that's your problem. My problem is, ich kann nicht, ich kann nicht stop I'm building a house in the next 7 days, I'm not going to start building. Yeah, no problem. If you want that, come on out of it. I send them away for a week, but you're going to pay a whole week for this. In such a case, oib me can sich mit a bissel Geld sich reinzugeben, then pay a little bit. Or if it's a big money, it's duveruvat. As we mentioned before, whenever it's a duveruvat, it's mitte. In such a case, can man make a fila babinish larvuch. Aber a kapuna, a person in his house, he had a leak, has to fix something is broken. It's nicht kein problem to finish it. The master, sag Menschen, I know, sag Menschen sind machman in dem, and nochmal, tu wohl auf Bruche, if you want to be machman. But al kapuna mikra din, something became damaged, or a person needs it for sein Stieb, is nicht du kann isten mikra din of to finish it.
Was ist mit der Verstand, das ist so, aber man kann warten, das noch in einem Tag.
Man kann warten, es steht nicht. Das ist der Warten. Es ist, das ist zu, aber Mikradin, wie bald das nicht ein Indien für den Harvucha, das ist ein Indien, was ist so ein Loch in der Wand, ist auch viele, wenn du kannst warten, Mikradin, was ist gemägt hin. Dann weiß das. Der Minig ist also wie die Ades, aber warten. Minig ist as, a builder which builds for people, das steht tun nach Reunem. As a builder, wo du zusammen Bilder, viele about Bilder in der Woche hat nicht kein Problem. Hat nicht das Problem. Aber a Kapunam, the minig is, as ich habe auch bei mir gehabt, Baram Luchas, which I told him that, you could stop, you come back 2 weeks from now.
Tell the guy not to mow the lawn Friday?
Oh, the Mabal came to them. We'll get to that. Yeah. So again, if you build a house to rent it out, or you build a house to sell it, it's got schon der geht. Well, this is a inif in Panusa. But if you build a house for yourself, laharvucha, then it's got ran der geht, as is a zanusa. Aber the medrsh, a mikveh, the mikveh do, if they want to build, if they have the money want to build, then they can build it in the 9 days too. And this is the tzorech rab, this is the tzorech mitzvah, it's not a problem. Noch du extra lucha, as man soll nicht zwei sein, you shouldn't paint in the Steitchen of in the Pascha, but you shouldn't do it even the whole 3 weeks. But in the Landtag, is mehr Medina, is mehr dus, as you shouldn't paint your house. Person decides, I want to paint my house. Again, if you have there's something, geworden zerbrochen, and you have to fix the part of fixing is absent. But a person wants to paint his house in the 9 days, steht klar, als man soll es stehen, mit zu stehen. And that's even if they started before the 9 days. All these things which you mentioned, even that you're not allowed, it happened a viele beim Tungen fahren in the Landtag. It's not starting in the Landtag. A viele beim Tungen fahren dem is, so man noch machbar sein. Now, steht noch eine Sache, steht nicht genug, that Netir shel Simcha is usar. You should not make a Netir shel Simcha. What is Netir shel Simcha? This is the Chronim Leinu Pshat. It means making a garden. Making a garden. Planting even in a backyard, in the Chutz Rabais, planting in flowers, roses, whatever you're planting on trees, all the things is also to machen in the 9 days. In alle Juren is, I said for the guy who takes care of my lawn, and even this year also said it, don't come in the 9 days. But today, habe ich geklettert, in der Luch, habe ich gesehen, Ravosen auf einem Platz Tane, like tea, but taking care of your lawn, not planting, just taking care of the lawn, which you do constantly on a regular basis, is not a problem. So, this is the answer I have for you today. Yesterday, what ich gehad, the answer. Weil ich habe alle Juren gewusst, dass es geht daran geht. Und also die Minig wie in Simonsi. All the landscapers know that they don't do landscaping in the 9 days. Es geht schon automatisch. But Ravosen is klar, as if a person has a lawn and it doesn't plant in new things, and there's the regular maintenance, halt Ravosen is a problem. Again, ich sehe nicht zu machbar sein. And if somebody did not say for his lawn, he should stop, then he could, it's not a problem. The chitz is a gift.
What about picking out fruits? Weeding?
Ask what you said. Did not say any, you see? The what?
The mower, the grass, the mower.
Yeah, that's maintenance.
That's maintenance. That's exactly what he is talking about.
Once in 2 months.
Yeah, but now is the time.
We do 1 2 months ago.
The what?
Once a week, you're gonna have a...
Yeah, you're gonna take it off. The chitz is a gift. Chitz is a gift. Pashtas haluche is use lirchetz kol gifoi letanig afele betzoinen. It's also to take a shower, or take a bath, or take a vara magite mikveh, sich weiken in gite mikveh, letanig, afele betzoinen. Yeah, afele betzoinen is also. And therefore, it's also to go swimming in the 9 days. It's also to go to the Yam to the 9 days, even it's cold, because even Latzoinen, this guy Taran gave it Tanik, and it says also in the 9 days. If a person needs it for the refuah, that's something else. Somebody had asked me this question over here, as one of the things which you had for therapy, is going swimming, or in the swimming pool, or in the swimming pool, you make some kind of exercise. The look is anything which is the tzorech lefiyah, is nicht a problem for that fall. And same will also be if a doctor tells you that you have to make some kind of exercise and this is the only thing which you can do. Since it is a sache, was a doctor sagt, es ist tzorech lefiyah, mögen wir das machen, aber all these things has to be b'mukum tzina. Even as we're going to mention soon, the plat service is mention your head to take showers and all this is we're going to just see in a minute, but all those things is only if it is b'mukum tzina, es ist nicht in public. So therefore, even if a guy has a heter to take a shower in the 9 days, he should not do it in the mikveh over here. Because that's a oifel for hesia, and therefore, Thomas is nemen, and that's why groß chalik in mikvahs b'chlal around the world, and in Monsi, most of the mikvahs, the showers doesn't have water in the 9 days. They shot the water, and there's no able to push it. Well, mention on the now, if you have a heter, take a shower at your home. Don't make it in public. That's your whole body. Mikzes gifoi, or the point of view of Raglef, steht as bezoinen megmen. Cold water megmen. Now, bezoinen does not mean cold. Zoinen means even poishim. Loop is also considered zoinen. What? Lukewarm. Lukewarm. What do you mean, what's lukewarm?
Number.
Es ist gemacht. Ich kenne den Scham kein Number. First of all, sie kennen schon jetzt all this way. Let's make it clear. That's hot. And second of all, it can be a degree which you take usually your shower. So it has to be, I think, the Lushan Achroinim is, Poishran, the Lushan is to brechen the kelt. To break that means it's too cold, Kemanish. Why like when I'm water was, I don't want to break the cold. So it's very hard to give those. As long as it's not the way how you do it when you take a shower, it is more look, sorry for my English. It's more look. Such a case, got is around negative and Zoina. In those, what?
Normally take full showers.
Noch einmal, in some of the geleitas Latan, ich tue mir nicht so viele kalt doch nicht. Ich rede, du Puna view de Varaglef, or the mixes gifoi. Let me make it clear. Mixes gifoi, some parts of your body, and Puna view de Varaglef. Dort megmen bezoinen, in between is bechama. So if you take it usually in cold, then you could do it in cold. It's not a problem. Cold gifoi, tu mir nicht so viele bezoinen noch nicht, as I mentioned before. Chaps? You got what I'm saying? The whole body, you cannot do even in cold. Even in freezing water. You're going to swim. That's cold water. So even in cold water, tumanish. But when Puna view the Varaglef or Mikzes Gifo, Megma Betzoinen is User Bechama. What? Puna means partial of your body, you know. Your face, your feet, your hands.
Part of your body.
Part of the body you can do Betzoinen.
Colder than usual.
Colder than usual.
You don't always take a shower cold.
Then it's fine. Then it's fine. Then it's fine. It's not a problem. Then it's a problem. Yeah.
You need some nice people.
A person who needs it for the fear, women who are miberes, meinekes, pregnant, or tzorech fear, is the shukah, all the limits fall off. Tzorech fear, as I mentioned before, or after a birth, megman. A lady for alle luchas sind zum jetzt gerät hat derselbe luchas Männer mit Frauen auch. Frauen, wenn sie darf machen heftig Haare, oder sie darf keine Mikve, they must then falls of all the limits. So they can make regular heftig Haare. What they do usually, if a person makes usually heftig Haare the whole body, he can make heftig Haare the whole body, and even with hot water. And if they make only mechetzi lamato, because mikradin, if you make only on the part the chaylik mechetzi lamato is also enough, then you have right also make the mechetzi lamato. But akapurim, all these things fall away. But akapurim, if it's not the zach, is commonish kan problem. Now, what? All the things we say is b'tzimah. You cannot do it in public. Also woman.
So she'll have to, usually she goes to the mikveh to do it, now she has to do it around.
No, but in the mikveh is also b'tzimah. Yeah, so nicht public. So nicht they don't go mikvahs like us, you know.
If it's a big mitzvah, everyone that's there knows it, so what's the problem?
The was?
Anyone that's going to
Okay, yeah, aber chesed is nicht, it's not active. Okay. What?
So this mikveh.
This, if somebody makes a shower, this is paparessi.
Yeah, so it's not okay. Meaning if I'm allowed to take one, I have to do it.
Yeah, dus heb ik vrij gezegd. Even the people who have the hat tattoo, which you're going to see who when where, zelfs de stien, dus je doet het om. What? Oh, new towels, al-matziri geheim. Agam, ich mich verfuhren, new towels, das so. What? I said before, but I'm just finished. The new towels is, the minig oilim is Michael. And this is the minig. The minig oilim is Michael to wash laundry. Now, ich weiß, sie gedenkt, ich habe jedes Jahr, du a pur Fremden, wir sind am Eurer. Also das heißt, man muss a recht, steigt nicht genurig, als auch ma gewort, tu man nicht waschen, weil was der Hatter, and ze machen in der Arfreme, emas, tu wolle bruche, we should take a towel a day before the Chodesh, and they use it, they put it on the side, they use this towel for the rest of the 9 days. Fine, you want to do it, go ahead. But that's not the way how mikvahs work. In the mikvahs work that every day there's new towels. In the Achroinam, habe ich in Geschirr Ruvet Michael gewählt, mit Ravosner is Michael, with all those things, because the guy around the Geder, which we mentioned before, a Oirich comes to you Erev Shabbos. A Oirich comes to you Erev Shabbos, we mentioned, since it's not normal to give for a Oirich a bet linen, which was used already, hygienic, how do you say? Hygienic. So therefore, a mikvah you have to use. You don't use somebody else's towel. You don't use it. Normally, therefore, is minig oilim is Michael. Even if you have a goy which cleans it, is best. You have a goy, should do it. But a place where you don't have a goy is the minig oilim to be Michael, and therefore, to answer your question, it's not a problem. You can use this. Okay. So now let's go back to rechitza. Rechitza, as we mentioned, is dua iser. Zung da achroina. Mish yesh lo tzar. In Shechanurah steht a isterness can be more lenient. A isterness means a person which gets sick when he doesn't wash. Hat recht zu waschen, sucht schon auf dem Dachroin nicht den Brief mit anderen. Nicht jeder eine kann sagen, ich bin isterness. You know, not everybody can say, ich bin isterness. Okay. La Masse, as kommt es Achroin bis man eini, that a person which has tsar for not going to mikveh, that means a mention sweaty. People are working outdoors. People are working on, plumbers. People are working in fish stores. But all these things which you have to take a shower because or you smell or you sweat. You sweat. In such a case, if you take a shower with luke water, without soap. Even without soap. Amul, you have a smell. In order to take away the smell, then you could use soap. I'm just bringing it out. It's not a free-for-all. It's not free-for-all. And it's a rule in Tveria, in Manaybrag, which anybody knows the weather over there, it's humid and it's hot. And is an Andrabuna mehr Michael. In America, is an Andrabuna a bisschen mehr Machmar, because usually people sit in air-conditioned rooms, and it's nicht so heiß as humid wie es ist andere Plätze. But again, das ist eine Sache, was jeder, ich kann nicht Spaß können, was sagt, jeder darf allein wissen, ob hat Zar, again, it's nicht uncomfortable. The Lucian steht, he has Zar. In such a case, it is permitted to take a shower with lukewater, like tchille unseif. If a person smells, that's something else. Then he can wash. As we mentioned before, I know a guy who works in a fish store. He every night comes home, soaps himself for half an hour. Mama, she macht so wie der Rush Tzidkunias. If not, can I get a smell? She runs away. So Mamaila, in such a case, is yes, again, have to have Sar. It's jeder eine soll ein Machlat sein, if he goes in that category. And even such a case, it shouldn't be on a daily basis. Shouldn't be, weil keiner nicht nach Matzah. Now, again, a person who works with fish, or a mensch is outside in sweats, that's something else. But I can put him, I feel when a mensch has Tzar, which I could say today's day, more and more people is in psychological on whom the issue for whom Tzar. But again, it's schwer, jeder ein auf allein machen was von der Sachen. Hat a left look without soap, or with soap, and has to be at house. It cannot be in the mikveh. Women have the selbe lucha. Even women sind mehr sensitive, mehr, du hast es am mehr zikim ist am Matz von Zar, ist auch dieselbe Sache. Bald am Matz von Zar, das kennen sie Michael sagen, aber es ist nicht die Bescheid, women have no, the Shechanurach is not made for women. You know, it doesn't work like that. Now, deodorant, perfume, in the Shukanissa. The Shukanissa, so it's for the chitza. Shukanissa for schmecken. So therefore, if a person is sweating and he uses deodorant, it's not a problem. Going to the mikveh, even if hot mikveh is not a problem, but mikveh is not a chitza. Mikveh is not a chitza. That's the heter why we could go in hot mikvehs on Shabbos. How could we go out? It's like in the Samuel, which I wrote an old article in Mנחem-Av, that tefillah is not a chitza. So therefore, Kema Michael Zan. But we have to remember, even if it's a nice, good shmak mikveh, you have to go in and you have to go out. You cannot You can toivel as much as you toivel every day all year round. Toiveling is nicht kein problem. But you staying over there in order because it's a geschmack, das heißt Rechitze Sheltani, is also Betachas HaIsser, and that's also sign the 9 days, that's also sign Shabbos. People don't realize. Menschen sagen sich ran, feine warme Mikve, Shabbos, and Mechabt Hashmiz, it's a Isser Gummer for Rechitze im Shabbos. You could go in, you could go out, but you cannot stay there. Children, Erev Shabbos is andere Halacha. Erev Shabbos is Azoi. Again, du kimt daran der Ashkenazim und du kimt daran der Chassidim. Der Ashkenazim, Erev Shabbos, assen sie auch zu gehen in du, sie lassen bezäunen, lassen sie gehen sich waschen. La Masse is in Skabel gehen bei Chassidim, und also ist der Minik, der Erev Shabbos, der Kuvit Shabbos Chazoin, megen man gehen in einer warmen Schauer. Eine warme Schauer, und sich seifen, der Kuvit Shabbos, also wie every Erev Shabbos. Well, even in the mikveh. Erev Shabbos, even in the mikveh, is was is a Kuvit Shabbos. In season Skabel going also the minik, also wie the Postum is halt, as Erev Shabbos, make me guy in a heiße mikveh, normale shower. Make the Kuvit Shabbos make me a steam. Children, washed children is azoi. Zugen der Chronim azoi. From 9 years and up, Sommer sind nicht waschen nur Tag when it's really dirty. From 6 till 6, you could wash them. Well, Kinder till 6, as you mentioned before, kleine Kinder, Akapunem, was man wasch jeden Tag, a child will wash jeden Tag, you could wash even the 9 days. If you don't wash every day, you wash every other day. Also, what? Sie bekommen Scheiter Hawaiiles, nehmen sie bis 6 Uhr. Bis 6 Uhr ist eine Schuke Sache. Für 6 Uhr ist es ein Scheich, Masbezahn in den Hawaiiles, für 6 bis 9, dort ist der Chroinem, leistet, bemucke, waschen nur Zeurig, wie viel man darf. Dann wird nicht normally, aber damals, so again, till 6, you do exactly how you do it all year round, from 6, nein, schwimmen nicht, Rechitze, zu waschen für eine Kies. Schwimmen ist Scholtanik, tun wir nicht auf viele kleine Kinder. Auf viele Liftnei, agierlich in der Stein der Chroinem. Auf viele Lift eigentlich nicht. Ich bin mehr Michael bei Sprinkler. Das ist ein Dor, was man macht, Maschine, mit Kindern am Schritin. Lass ich Sprinkler, das ist nicht, aber gar nicht schwimmen, tun wir nicht. Steigt ich auf viele, inter 6, soll man nicht lassen, Kinder gar nicht schwimmen. What? No Meile? Kalte Wasser ist was? Tun wir noch nicht? What? Such ich der, wir wollen get clean, ich habe gewollt, dass es geht an mehr jeder für mixes Gifo. Ich habe gequetscht, es ist nicht so pushen. Ich weiß, dass du für die handige Swur was halten, Sprinkler auch nicht. Ich kenne Bestein. What? No. Wait, no. Oh, ich habe nach Heider gefragt. Ich habe so mal schon gefragt. Ich habe Martin Sprinkler. Ich habe gehabt noch Kinder. Jetzt muss ich wohl wissen, the highest class was the Oile Mishema Mitzvah, but still in Cheder. It's still, nein. I'm going to my Mitzvah, da muss ich schon wissen. Water play, again, sprinklers. Was heißt water play? Schwimmen kann man nicht.
Not swimming.
Man makes a balloon, with a water balloon. What is it called? Water balloon. Ja, Sache. Sie nicht weiß ich. Tische bei welche Schuhe, im Kippur steht man sagt, you shouldn't play with water because you might spill it. Ja, im Kippur steht ich genorig im Kippur, you cannot have a cup full of water because you might spill it on yourself. Es geht daran geht für die Gitze. Man darf nicht again, es nicht du kein in to be aber meine ich suche doch mal so a Chroinem das man einfach alles pinkeln tun nicht ich nehme auf mir the kind of hand of Sachen because sometimes you got to be you know ich habe nicht zerief um zu kennen so it's okay but a kapunam swimmen not so a kapunam again till 6 is no problem you could give them normal bath from 6 to 9 nor middels at zoirig and hegedem you shouldn't come even if he's dirty is no good for an adult which is dirty or if a child comes home with lice or the whatever come even this normal the system what to do is so much verstehen you could
so for me myself take a shower can't take a shower the cooler some days what's the
a pashas alucha kemenish nor Shabbos
yes
יש לך צער גודל יש לך צער
so I can make sure that I'm sweating
The what?
Killing the camps.
No, this is for real.
A person has to, this is a sache, you can job for yourself. This is a thing which is, I will tell you like this. If you have a roof which is sweating, what the Mir Michael's on. If you have a roof which is not sweating, well, you know. For me is es sehr schwer to answer, but ich, Baruch Hashem, personally, K'mad was ich weiß, was mein Schwitzen. So, we name a weißig, as ich weiß, do people who sweat. So therefore, jeder darf allein machen, seine Sache, ich kann nicht geben, kein Heter, in nicht kann nissen. So, I'm not objective. So therefore, ich suche da Luchas, soll allein machen, sonst sie erkennen. But in any case, suche ich, als ein Mensch, wo es ist jotzig und every day take a shower, es ist nicht zahar, und nicht bezahar, at least, we can not push every other day. Like I said before, even in the underwear, with people could change. We don't have to, as I mentioned before, it's not like a shirt. Underwear can be changing. Aber gesehen, da Chroinen, sie sagen, if you're able to change every day, if you could make it every other day, do it every day. And other the kids said what it means. Madaf gedenks is the 9 days. There's a reason why Chazal said all those things. We should feel the pain. Now, a person should machlas on a line when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate. Schwitzung of them Sachen.
Washing just the face?
Megman.
Why is that not like mitzvah school day?
Nochmal, makes es gife Megman. Das aber gesagt, makes es gife Megman bezeunen. Not bechamen, bezeunen. So man make. Vor dem würde ragen auf Megman. Kol gife. Also wie man sagt, in Jantiv sagt das aber sagt. Makes es gife is mitte, in Kol gife tun wir nicht.
So someone can do mixed group the whole, end up doing the whole body?
Oh, so dieselbe Sache kannst du fragen, like bei Jantiv. Eiveriver, Sofkesof steht Eiveriver Megman. Aber was heißt Eiveriver? Ist aber gesehen nicht der Gavrieling, aber Jantiv sucht a person can make half a body, sich aufwischen, unzitieren, sich gleich ausziehen, noch einmal make the second half. If you want to do it this way, then... Schnaden Nägel ist nicht kein Problem. A kapunem bezeurig Shabbos. Kemiven, all these things, hat nicht kein, es kommt sie, zeurig Zwille, aber schon in der Month, 9 days, make man sich, the notion Tzitkunis, was they have a minute, what? You're right. Yeah, the notion Tzitkunis, which have a minute to take off the hair before they go to Tzvila, which is not the minute our custom, but I can put them, making us even the 9 days. Making us even the 9 days. So anything which you need for Tzorich Tzvila is mitter. So let's make it clear. Washing and taking off the hair and cutting nails make man ins Ochet. I can put them Tzorich Shabbos. Aber I can put them, what?
The women.
The women are afila shvishe chalboy. Nein, nor bis Erev Shabbos. Nor bis Erev Shabbos. Aber women will make a fila, zatuk for, afila shvishe chalboy. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Shvishe chalboy next week. For women, no difference. For a man, it's a difference. Negel. What? Women for Tvila. You're right. Women for Tvila. Yeah. Okay. Eating booster, v'shoysen yain, drinking wine. Okay. Well, and some are so let's finish it. Okay. Shtayt shichenurach is yesh lehimuna from eating booster shtis yain from Rosh Chodesh. Why dafke booster v'yain? Is bepashtos ein simche ele bebooster, ein simche ele v'yain. And shtayt dus. The Sharat Shiva brings the other reason because zeichel chorben. Since there was a chorben and they stopped being you stopped doing karbonas, which they used to eat, the flesh, the booster, and they stopped making nischayain, so therefore have a chazal ge'asad booster v'yain. What is considered booster? Means chicken, booster b'haim even, frozen, fresh, all these things, anything which is meat is also. Fish does not go into this category, but a kaponim, bosser is usar, and bosser b'haim is even mer chumah. For instance, a person which needs to have it, tzorich rafiyah, is the lucha that you can eat bosser. For instance, a person who's a cholosh, the doctor says you have to eat the protein of meat, you have to have meat, and it's enough to eat chicken, then eat chicken, don't eat bosser b'haim. But a kaponim, the iser is on all the meat and all the things, and even if a tafsha shel bosser. That means if you have a chulent, you made the chulent for Shabbos, and you want to eat just the potatoes, which is from the chulent, it's also osar, because that's called tafsha shel bosser. You want to eat a carrot which was made in chicken soup, or a knedel, which was made in chicken soup, all these things goes into the gather of tafsha shel basar, and it's also to eat it. But you could cook anything parava in a keilah shel basar, even it's ben yoima, which even ben yoima, when it comes to basar b'cholim, is a problem, but that's not considered basar. In such a case, it's not a problem. When we talk about wine goes in everything which has to do with wine. That means wine, grape juice. Choymetz yayin is yom mitter. Choymetz, which is sour, a person cannot drink it by himself. But other things which is wine is also, and the choyim zugen like it chila, you shouldn't put it in even a recipe. Andere will zugen, if you don't feel it, can be mehr but andere choyim zugen, no, there's some recipes which you put in wine, in some kind of fish, which you put in wine, wine. But that's only wine. Anything alcoholic beverage does not go into this category. That means you could drink beer, you could drink liquor, you could drink vodka, you could drink whiskey. All these things is not considered negated of yain. This you could drink. It's dafke buset v'yain, which is osar.
So our potato kugel is hard. So we use the same fork for the chicken and the potato kugel, but there's there's actual juice on the chicken.
So if it has actual chicken, so we give some ashur. But you could use, even though as an hilches muss im was das heißt nach Fleischigs, but it's nicht du the Isser from Busse wie ein nicht du der Isser.
So it's okay to do even though it's technically flesh.
Yeah, even though it's Fleischigs, yeah.
Only it was cooked with meat.
It's cooked. Tafsha shel Busse is cooked with meat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And even this is also the Achronim Zugen, you shouldn't give Busse v'yayin even for a child less than chinuch. That means we don't give for children, except over for their health. As a chulosh, or whatever, if there's such a thing, or a child which doesn't eat anything, he likes meat, and other thing he doesn't eat, there's something else. Aber mis machmar, as am can meat, you don't cook fleischige meals for a child, even puchs me gil chinuch. Again, choyle is something else. Huh? Avdollah wine is like this. Steht in Pashto, the Ashkenazi the minig is, and also is the minig Chabad, blikit chila, that you don't drink the wine, you give it for a cotton. But if you don't have a cotton,
What age cotton?
well, it has to be a cotton which from 6 till 9. So that's the problem. Has to be more than 6, weil nicht ist aus dem nicht gut aufgetein mit der Bruch. Machst du Bruch, und was ist trinken? Auf seiner Eibig sucht man als am Fall, wenn ich gebe Bruch für ein Kind, so als alle Fuchs ist 6-jährige Kind. You make the Bruch. The guy who makes the Avdollah makes the Bruch.
The cotton must have my creation. And you have my creation of not.
Ja, die machst the Bruch, und the Kind freut sich auf den Bruch. Yeah. It's like a mamila by Tanas. Yes, for a Kind. No. Ich hab gesehen beim Reben, ich mein Gesell ist in Schlaf, also all the minute Chabad is about akuten, aber man hat nicht gemacht, kein extra, you didn't go out of your way to have a cotton.
It can be a katana, or it can be a girl, or not.
The what?
Girl.
Girl also. But you don't want to give a girl Mati Shabbos wine, you know.
It's brought down the girl shouldn't have
The what? A Mati Shabbos.
not have a double.
Zug ich that. Ich hab das. You don't want to give a girl as Mati Shabbos. Why, it's not Meshigas. Steht in Shlu also. You shouldn't give this. The Meshigas is going to grow a beard. That's the Meshigas. But steht in Shlu with andere, you shouldn't give a child. So that's, aber nochmal, if you don't have an option, can man understand, a lady which makes Avdullah, she doesn't have who to make Avdullah. She doesn't drink the wine.
The question is, if you only have a girl that age for a boy, you drink
You know?
yourself, you give it to the girl.
Das ist nicht, heute das darf ich für die Kind. Heute das für die Kind. Heute was darf ich für die Kind. Weil the Kind is a Indian, weißt du, Kabula Ding Indian, das Schluck und das Indian. Oi behalt as a Mensch allein seine trinken wine, Avdullah, so therefore you have a child, give it for a child.
Make them
Make beer.
But-
to drink that, make a wine, drink yourself, yeah.
Same thing.
Why? Grape juice is wine, and the same
What
Hamid
about
No,
Mama
I'm saying this.
Oh, Chamar Medina, it's kein problem, when we make beer. Aber in some of the problem of the Chabad, mach nicht Chamar Medina, mit Altrebe halt, it's an extra problem. So, but any case, whenever you have an issue, kannst du trinken allein. So nicht, you know.
I'm saying this.
Sie wären Chsidam, sie wären andere Chsidam, was like rough andere Chassidim, drink man das allein, even when you have a child. But du, Padim, in der Rebbe steht, like, Tchille, ob sie gewinnen, ein Kind, hat Michael gewinnen. Aber der Rebbe gemacht, Abdullah in der Heim, ich hatte kein Kind, hat gemacht, der was? Hast du trinken Schier, weil Abdullah von Schier, ich ist Rapsche Zeru, whatever, passt das, trinkt Abdullah, darf man trinken, ist das Schier auf Revis? Das ist gefährlich, was ich sage. Das ist nur David. Ja, okay. Ja, Emmas. Leute liegen wir, wir sagen liegen wir. Sie mal liegen wir. Es ist angefallen, ein Stückchen Fleisch, angefallen in ein Parve Machel. Ist du Achroinen, muss suchen, man soll Shishim. Also ich warte. Andere Achroinen suchen, also man kann es gehen für eine Quaile, soll es teuer sein. Aber a Kapunem, es ist nicht so pushet, das ist okay. Okay. Es gibt Erev Shabbos. Okay, Erev Shabbos is the Minig Yisroel am Estoy Ameyo. Yeah? So you eat a little bit of soup, you eat a little bit of chola, and you have to see, nach Toim sein. Weiß wie viel von uns sind Mahadar in der Mitzvah, aber das steht nicht in Orach. Al Kaponam, Le Shishi ist, kann man essen, der hat schon. Aber Erev Shabbos steht auch, soll man nicht essen, kann Toy Ameyo ist Fleischiges. That means you cannot eat. Even a person eats every Erev Shabbos a piece of plate of chulon or chicken soup. Erev Shabbos Shabbos Azon Tumas is using, and even for children, you shouldn't give to your meyu boss of yain. Now, if you have a child, which that's see the Shabbos, you want to put him to sleep. Yeah, he's not going to be up till 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, we don't daven early, so therefore he should 7 o'clock. He should be Makabel Shabbos. He makes kiddush for himself because the Kimivan. A Engel oder a Meidl is a choiv to mechanach zan with kiddush Abdullah. So he makes kiddush for himself, and he eats the Shabbos. Although by you is still Wochen, by you is still Friday. That's the see the Shabbos. Then you could give it to eat. But the what?
After Plag or Sam.
Yeah, Nachma, see the Shabbos. See the Shabbos is after Plag Mincha. Then it says see the Shabbos. Then you can give him, but give him, just al Steremeyu is usati essen.
He has to make, the kid makes kiddush himself early.
No, he drinks.
She lights candles.
The what?
The girl, she lights candles.
No.
But she usually lights candles. She should light herself and then make it.
What do you do with your 3-year-old child? You keep her till that night?
No.
She lights candles and goes to sleep.
They eat before and then they light and eat some.
Okay. So what do you... What does he light before? So the guys to see Shabbos with the left. So light and then they make kiddush and then they eat and they go to sleep. Yeah. This is how you should do. Okay, see this mitzvah weismer is mitzvah to essen muss vayayin. That means by bris, by a pinyin by a bar mitzvah. Who is mitter? Steht es alle bala simchas in the mitter. All the kroivim hashaychim l'sida zene mitter are mitter to eat bos vayayin. What does it mean? Kroivim steht in the kroivim the geder is zene pusel aides. Kroivim which are pusel aides, that goes in the geder. That means shiny, first cousins, but not second cousins. And another 10 people was an shaykh to the sea. That means an rayim, an ishken kroivim, aber they are people which they will come to your simcha because they are friends. They'll come to see even during the year. Not only now because they want to eat flesh. They come during the year when you make a bar mitzvah. They will come. It's permitted to have 10 people also to make this. So that's all the see this mitzvah is mitzvah. When it comes to see the jetzt das so ist. Du eine Sache so. Sachilik sie du ist auch du zwischen is the difference between this week and next week. Shvish Chalboy, whatever I just said is Shvish Chalboy Chalboy. That you'll only have minimum tzimtzum. When it comes to before this week, anybody who will come, even more than a minyan, anybody who is going to come to your simcha, even when it is during the year, can eat some flesh. That means I see this mitzvah. Let me make it clear again. If you have a bar mitzvah, a bris, a pinyin aben, in such a case, anybody the Bala Simcha, the Geshuas reden, in Kreuven, was kur Pusileides, and the Geshuas reden. Chavayrem, a person which will come, drive out to Kingston to a mitzvah, could eat this week. When it comes next week, it's only limited to 10 people. So Shvish Chalba is limited to 10 people. This week is anybody who is going to basically come to, in a case, Basimcha, which is Negaya. Siyam Masechta is also the same thing. Since the Siyam Masechta is, this is a bisschen anders. Siyam Masechta is a bisschen mehr Michael, it's a Minige Oilam. Shechnurich steht, you are permitted to eat Busa Vayayim and Siyam Masechta. And that's the Minige Oilam. The Minige Oilam is, you make a Siyam and you give fleishiks. In camps, you make a Siyam and you give fleishiks. That's the Minige Oilam. Who eats? Erst der Scheich mit der Sida. Da was the Schlap, as by uns Benaibrek do Anaim Shagas is very angry about it. Somebody makes a scene and goes around and tiles meat for all the Schreinim, and now, erst Fleisch, it does nicht. In a camp, everybody has a Sheiches. In a Bongle colony, everybody is einsach. But not going around, the whole block, everybody sees because somebody makes a scene. Aber la Masse, that's the minig, and that's the minig by us too if you want. If a person wants to make a siyum tomorrow and wants to eat flesh, you could eat busa v'yayin. It's not a problem. Now, all the people say, some people will say no, because the Rebbe Rashab shtayt, and Hayoyim shtayt, the Rebbe Rashab make a siyum, it would not eat flesh. Shtayt nicht als gehalten, so usse zuerst busa v'yayin. Shtayt nicht nur kann man make. The Rebbe Rashab gemacht siyums, and the Rebbe wanted we should make everything a siyum. Not necessarily to eat meat. The eight mazach, siyam, the golas. But a person makes a siyam, he learned, those are einchilik. The other siyams which we make, all the siyams we see, is we're going around, we should make siyams, is people who learned the whole Masechta 3 weeks ago, or 3 months ago, or maybe 3 years ago, and they left a blot or two for the non-thing, why not? If you don't eat Busa V'yayin, it's not a problem. But if you want to eat Busa V'yayin, zug dachroinam, soll es nicht sein, a sach wo you play around with the sea. It's like a person, azoi kimtos, or the next mushel, if you come, you see you have another three blatter, you want to learn it earlier, that's also fine. But nicht, you finished and you leave a blat, or, all this playing around with the siyams, that's good for the siyams, which the Rebbe wanted as Zanas Gila for siyam agulas. But it's not good for the Indian of essence of Busa V'yayin. But ob saramala siyam, a person learned the Masechta, and they finished in the 9 days, or they make sure to finish it in 9 days, even they have a Mitzad Daf Yomi, it's going to take 3 days after Tishba. They're going to learn it early, it's the echte siyam, make them an essence Busa V'yayin, and Filach Chabad. If you want. Memiz nicht, aber mir gessen Busa V'yayin. So this steht in Yom Yom, der Rebbe Shabbat machasim, lav darf zu essen Fleisch, nicht dass zu essen Fleisch, nur du sie nicht der Indien gewähnt. Andere Plätze, die gewähnt in Indien, man soll machen Asim, der Rebbe von Lublin, in andere Plätze gewähnt an Indien, that at least 2 times in the 9 days you should make a Siyam, and you should have Busa V'yayin. Es gewähnt an Indien. Das ist nicht gewähnt in Chabad. Aber es ist gar nicht sagen, als wenn eine Person gemacht hat Siyam, tu dich essen Busa V'yayin. Ich sage, ganz nicht chanorig, aber mein, that's not true. A person made a mistake. He took a piece of chicken. He took a glass of wine. He made a bruch. And he said, in the 9 days. So the Achroim soll trinken. Weil, kedai, soll nicht kommen. Sie kann bruch levatula. Such a case, you should eat. One final thing which I want to finish is cleaning. This is also a shalom which every Erev Shabbos the Nushim Tzidkunins will ask. Can my cleaning lady come and clean my house for Shabbos? Zukt Rav Osner that whatever she does every Erev Shabbos to Kuvit Shabbos, she could do also in the house. She could clean the toilet, she could wash the floors, things which get dirty, and therefore you do it every Erev Shabbos, you could do it every Shabbos. Things which you don't do every Erev Shabbos, just because you have an extra hour, you can have it for an hour, then you just start to clean windows or whatever. Nein, Sache nicht stehen. Aber anything which she is the Sache, was bemetit, kann man machen Kuvit Shabbos.
Is it only the Kuvit Shabbos or on Monday also?
If it's the Kuvit Shabbos. If it's the Kuvit Shabbos.
No, we just have, she comes very late.
If Sachen was a bit schmutzig, the whole week, okay, you got it. Erledigt. What?
The toilet gets dirty.
The toilets get dirty. All there's nothing in the make me. The floors get dirty. A thing which get dirty make me stomach. Man, the stomach. Floor, it's nicht dran geht von Unticht, geht dran geht von geworden schmutzig, das kann man tun. Aber man Sache was decided to every Erev Shabbos, wash the floors, love that give a kick to geworden dirty. If it's something spills on the floor, the guy to make those washes. Nicht das redt man. Man hat doing the regular cleaning. What? Okay. How they gesagt, alle Again, as I mentioned before, you shouldn't wash the carpets. This guy shall negate if you do them. Mother Shabbos haben wir schon geredet, erstmal nicht gemusst yain. Okay, all these halachas, by the way, goes all the way till Wednesday, Chatzos. This week Wednesday, till Chatzos, you don't clean, you don't wash, you don't take a shower, you don't drink wine. Shechiyuni, steht in Shara Tshiva, and man macht man bis the end of the day, Yom HaSiri. Everything in Chatzos finishes. By Shechiyuni, you become like the Svardem, you macht man all ad Yom HaSiri. No music till then, but after Chatzos, als Mitterchen, except of Shechiyuni. Laundry. Once it comes Chatzos, is mitter to make laundry. Yes. I shall help now, Yom HaHaim, Eili, Habchi, Lesus, and Lesimcha, and we should be able to wash and take a shower. And what else? All this thing, music. The what? Kiddush Levora. Kiddush Levora, darf man tanzen. Darf man tanzen. Without music, you gotta dance. Darf man tanzen.